On today's episode number 714 of Into Your Head, the meaning of life, and lots more. Hello.
Into your head. Into your head. Into your head. Into your head. Into your head.
This is a prelude to the opening segment of this episode of Into Your Head podcast. Hello. This episode of Into Your Head podcast. Hello. I suppose it started already. I'm just adding in an extra bit before the first bit. Don't worry about it. I'm probably over-explaining here. I don't necessarily do all of this in chronological order all the time. So I'm going in a non-chronological order. All of this stuff that I'm saying here, I'm saying it in the aftermath of what you're about to hear. The aftermath. It's a bit like after meth, except that you don't die from addiction. Aftermath is a lot different. You go, 2 + 2 = 4. That's that done with. Now here's the aftermath. It's a lot less. It's a lot more innocent than people seem to think. People seem to hear the word aftermath and they think, oh, the aftermath of some nuclear disaster, or the aftermath of some murder or something. No, you can have an aftermath of something good as well, or an aftermath of something that's benign and has no big effect, either positive or negative on the world. You can have an aftermath of, and I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, oh, he's trying to make out that it's after doing maths. Well, it can be after anything. Yeah, it can be after doing maths. It doesn't necessarily mean that the word math in aftermath refers to maths, but maths, you can't deny that it can. I know this is bollocks. This is just bollocks, but still, just because something is bollocks and doesn't contribute anything to the world, that doesn't mean anything. There's nothing wrong with something not meaning anything. There's more to life than bringing meaning to the world. People obsess over this. They say, oh, what's the meaning? It's not a song. There's a song with a child singing it. It came out about 10 years ago. That went, what's the meaning? What's the meaning of life? What's the meaning? What's the meaning of life? I think there was either some woman singing the verses or there was some fella doing rap or something, but the chorus was definitely a child's voice going, what's the meaning? What's the meaning of life? What's the meaning? What's the meaning of life? I got a bit repetitive, if you don't mind me saying so. I'd rather, if you're going to have a child in the middle of an adult contemporary pop song, I prefer the one with the Pink Floyd where they go, all in all, it's just another brick in the wall. Although you know damn well that child who sung that had no idea what they were supposed to be singing about. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If Professor Stephen Hawking's computer voice was asked, what are you talking about? They couldn't tell you either, because they're just no more than a translator. If you go to a diplomatic meeting and you ask the translator, what does all that stuff that he just said mean? They'll say, I don't know, I'm just translating the words. I'm not here to apply meaning to it other than to translate it from one language to another. I specialise in translation. I don't know anything about whatever else is involved here, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's called specialisation. And I can tell you, specialisation is how we've got where we are today. First you had people specialised in medicine, then you had people specialised in brain surgery, then you had people specialised in the left half of the brain, then you have people specialised in the part of the left part of the brain that deals with specialisation, or for example, or whatever. I don't know much about that stuff. That's because I specialise in stuff myself, so I don't know about what they specialise in. You leave stuff to people who are specialising in the stuff, because they're the people who become the experts. Anyway, hello and welcome to the show. I say that at the end of the next segment as well. Don't worry about that. It's just a way of it's just a connector. Maybe I'll edit out the bit where I say hello at the end of the next segment. That's what I'll do. I'll edit out the later bit where I say hello and welcome to the show. And this can be the opening segment instead. That's what we'll do. This is called thinking on the go. I'm thinking on the go. Anyway, hello and welcome to the show. We've a lot to get on with today. Items that need to be attended to, issues that need to be addressed, topics. Topics. We've got lots and lots of topics. We're positively booming to the seams with topics. You've got topics coming out of my glasses, which I've just banged against my 12-inch pop screen. Or is it 7-inch? It's probably 7-inch. That's what's supposed to. Oh no, I got a smaller one. I forgot. I no longer have a 7-inch pop filter screen. I have a smaller one, and frankly, a more manageable one. I just have it at the wrong level at the moment. Let's lower it a bit so that I don't bang my glasses into a frigging filter. So I can see little enough as it is without having to look through a frigging black mesh cloth, a black mesh fence, like the sort of thing you'd find outside a frigging warehouse that was storing valuables, and you're trying to keep out the drug dealers from stealing meth making chemicals from it or something. No, you don't need security between your eyes and the microphone. Absolutely fucking well, maybe you do. It is quite a valuable microphone. It'll be a shame if anyone came in here and stole it. I'm not sure that putting something that looks like a fence just in front of it is going to stop them if they're determined to steal it. They'll just move their head slightly to the left and go around and say, oh, there's a big fence looking thing in front of it, but it seems to be just a round 5-inch fence just straight in front of the top of the microphone. We can get around that quite easily, unless they're as thick as two short planks rubbed together and set on fire, in which case they'll just burn the place down. I tell you, this room will be the first place to burn down because it's full of cables and it's got books and paper and crap and all sorts of materials in here. Everything in this room is highly flammable. Technically they're not. There's nothing that's individually flammable. It's just a lot of stuff, and the quantity is more makes it flammable. That's what makes it flammable. No fire exit. I'm no fire expert, but I'm pretty sure having a lot of stuff in a small room makes it easier to set it alight. Let's not find out whether I'm true or not. Let's just forever. Let's proceed for the rest of our lives in ignorance, never finding out whether I'm correct in that statement. Because there's some things you don't want to find out the truth about. You'd rather just leave it be and never. You never want to find out, for example, what would happen if a nuclear bomb fell on us from the sky or was dropped on us. What's the difference between dropping and falling? I suppose one is done by somebody, and the other is, the other could be done by somebody too, but it's usually accidentally. If something falls on you, you can drop something and then it'll fall. Probably wouldn't have much time to argue about it though when the time came, so there's no point worrying about that sort of thing. There's no point getting your lungs in a twist over something that's just going to kill you if it happens. You just forget about it. Get on with your lives, shallow as they are, pathetic and meaningless as they are. Just get on with them. Deal with what. If you got lemons, if someone gives you lemons, you say, hello, can I make lemonade with this? And they'll say, you probably can. I don't know. I'm not providing instructions. This isn't Junior Master Chef where we give you the recipe and we help you out. No, we're just giving you the fucking lemons. Just do what you want with them. And you'll say, oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed for these lemons. I'll make lemonade from them. Or squeeze. Well, if you make lemonade, you've still got lemons left. They're just dry lemons. You squeeze. I've never made lemonade, but I presume you squeeze the juice out of the lemons and then you still have lemons left. Bits of lemon pulp anyway, so you can do something with them. So rather than just making you still make the lemonade, but you can make something else as well. Just like when if you get some potatoes and you make mashed potato with the insides of the potatoes, you still have skins left. You can have potato skins another day. If you're a proper home economist and you do things properly. If you do things, of course, no one knows how to do that anymore. They just go to the shop and say, hello, do you sell mashed potatoes? And then the next day they go back and say, hello, do you sell potato skins? And they sell you the same potatoes twice in two separate products, and you're happy. You're going off the light and you say, oh, this convenience store is great. I got potato skins yesterday. I got mashed potato inners today. They taste very similar. It's almost as if they're the same potatoes that have been sold twice. Jesus, we come a long way, I can tell you, in this country since the potato famine. It used to be, 100 years ago, if you got some potatoes on your plate, you'd say, oh, aren't we living the high life now? You're getting potatoes on a Tuesday afternoon for dinner. I tell you, our grandparents didn't have that. They had no potatoes. We were all dead because of the potato situation. But no, 100 years ago, which was after the potato famine, people knew the value of potatoes then, I can tell you. But now they've lost it. They go, oh, fuck this shit. Potatoes, they're just things. Potatoes are a commodity now, just like everything else. They're making the water into a commodity now. They're making us all get freaking water meters on our houses, and we won't have to pay for the fucking water. The water that gets pissed down out of the sky every day like there's no tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes. Tomorrow always comes. Don't be fooled by country music songs. They say if tomorrow never come, tomorrow will come. Tomorrow will come. You just mightn't necessarily be a part of it, but tomorrow will come. Be damn sure to Christ as hell that you get that into your thick skull. Tomorrow is coming, whether you like it or not, whether it benefits you or not. Tomorrow will be here. You just won't necessarily be here, although you probably will. Chances are you probably will. Let's look at the cup as half empty, or half full rather than half empty, or else look at the cup as being half full of poison, or say, and then say it's half empty, and say, there's only half of that cup has no poison in it at all. Isn't it great? That's how you look at things. You remember, before you do your glass half empty thing or your glass half full thing, consider whether or not you want the stuff that's in the glass, and then proceed accordingly. See, people don't think about these sorts of things. They just say, there's a nice little poetic saying, look at the glass as being half full. No, question it. Ask what's in the glass first of all, and then I'll decide whether I want it to be half full or half empty, and then proceed accordingly. Just put a little bit. Use your brain that was given to you by whoever gave it to you, and proceed accordingly.
Are you going into your head?
Two half-full glasses walk into a bar. One of the half-full glasses goes straight up to the bar counter and says, hello, can I have a pint of your finest Guinness, please? Could you pour half of it into me, please? And half of it, I'll take the other half down to my friend here and I'll pour it into him. And the man behind the bar says, Christ, what the fucking hell is this? That is getting fucking ridiculous. We're doing this for about 100 weeks now. We've had this crap every week. I've had cats come in, then dogs, then I've had... what did I have last week? I had some pigs or something, I don't know. Oh no, I had a little deodorant walk into this bar recently, and now it's a couple of half-full glasses. Well, as far as I'm concerned, you're both half empty. And the glass says, that's good, because the contents of this glass are not something you'd want, and that's why I'm going to dilute it with your finest Guinness. And the man behind the bar says, fair enough, but it doesn't matter whether I want it or not. I'm not going to drink it. I'm certainly not going to drink out of you. And the glass says, that's good, because I wasn't inviting you to drink out of me. I'm going to drink out of myself. And the man behind the bar says, is that not cannibalism? And glass says, it is. No, it's not the cannibalism. Cannibalism is where you eat yourself. There's nothing in cannibalism about drinking yourself. If you go and drink your own blood, that's not cannibalism. It might be self-vampirism, but vampirism isn't real. It's all fictional, so it doesn't matter. So no, you can drink yourself. You can drink the contents of your own self, your water. We're all 90% water, you know. You do well to remember that if you're ever stuck in the desert. Just remember, you're made up of 90% water. You might need to make use of that someday. I'll tell you won't be fucking retching at the idea of cannibalism then. If you've been stuck in a desert for 2 days and you need a drink of water, you're saying, thank Christ I'm 90% water, and you just have to figure out how to get this water out of yourself. I can certainly think of one way, but that's not the best water. There's probably some other way to get better water out of you rather than the the wastewater, such as, for example, tap into your brain. There's probably water in your brain in there. Take out some blood. I'm pretty sure the damn Christ as hell that the water's got blood in it. Anyway, I'm probably preaching to the converted here. You're the expert on beverages, Mr. Barman. And the barman says, indeed I am. Indeed I am. Here's your Guinness. And the half full glass says, thank you very much indeed. Here's some money, some currency which I'll exchange with you in return for this thing you've already given me. Although you seem to have already given it to me, so why I need to give you money to get it, I'm not sure. Maybe it's because I'm honest. Maybe is that it? Is that I'm honest? And the barman says, I don't know you at all. Don't know you from Adam. Don't know whether you're honest. You could be a criminal murderer for all I know, or you could be Mother Teresa reincarnated, or you could be Mother Teresa reincarnated but as a criminal murderer. I don't know. And the glass half full says, Christ, you're a strange one, aren't you? And the barman says, a strange one of what? And the half full glass says, I'm not sure yet. I'm still trying to determine that. Although I have to admit, it's very interesting. Yeah, I could talk to you for hours, or at least for the next 24 minutes. Although I don't usually keep going that long. I usually need a break after, at the most, 10 or 11 minutes. But I suppose I could break it into chunks. I don't know. And the barman says, what in the name of holy Jesus, mother fucking Christ are you talking about? And the half full glass says, now I know this is a bar and it's all adults, but keep the language a bit tame, will you, for Christ's sake? For Christ's sake. I can say for Christ's sake, because that's not half as bad as what you just said. And the barman says, oh, you can say whatever you want as long as it's less than half as bad as what I say, is that right? So if I were to just say hello, then you'd only be able to say, you'd be able to say nothing, maybe the word there, a couple of, what do you call that, the definitive article, that's about as much as you could say. And the half full glass says, I suppose so. And the great night is had by all. Funky nuts, that's what they call them. They call them big steaming, shit-eating, piss-piling, wool unfolding. Oh, I've a big reel of wool here. I'm storing stuff in my studio here, and among it is a big roll of reel. No idea what it's for. It's a reel of wool, or wherever I said it was. It's a reel of wool. I think I said it was a wool of reel or something just now. That was a slip of the tongue. I was distracted by this reel of wool that's here. Unlike most wool that I've ever come in contact, it's not in a bowl. It's not a self-contained bowl. No, it's on some kind of a spindly thing. Slightly pyramidal shaped tube, and the wool is wrapped around that. It's like a giant toilet roll, except it's wider on one side than the other for some reason. Wider at one end than the other. You could use it as a road cone if it was 48 times this size, and you got rid of the wool, because the wool would be a distraction. You'd have cats coming along pulling at the wool. You can't have wool wrapped around a road cone. No, because the cat will come along and play with it and knock the cone over. Road cones get knocked over easily enough without having extra stuff on. Oh, there's a ball of wool that's self-contained. Well, self-contained, unless you count the paper wrapper around it, but that's just to keep it in the shop. Pink wool. Why would you be wanting pink wool? I don't know. It's not for me. It's my wife's. It's my wife's stationery supplies. My wife's work and stationery supplies. She has a lifetime supply of crap in here. Well, it's crap to me. Remember that one person's crap is another person's tools for work. So just because if you see someone coming along with a shovel and say, what the fuck is that crap? What would you be wanting that for? Just remember that just because you don't have to shovel stuff all day doesn't mean someone else doesn't have to. And tell you, if your job involved shoveling and you didn't have a shovel, I tell you, you'd soon find out why it's better to have a shovel than not have a shovel in that particular instance. Just try going out and go up to that road cone and go behind it and try and join in with whoever they're doing there, digging a big hole and see if you can can do without a shovel of any kind. Then I can tell you, then you'll find out what the shovel, just as I sit here, I don't expect you to come up to me and say, what the fuck do you need that microphone for? I've no use for that microphone. Well, of course you've no use for it. It's for me. It's not for you. It's just exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing, just a different walk of life. Because we're all from different walks of life here. Some of us are podcasters. Some of us do vital jobs involving shovels. Some of us, there's a text from my wife. The contents of which are none of your fucking business. So mind your own. I probably shouldn't have brought her up, but there was a noise in the background that you may have heard. I thought I better explain that noise. I better explain what that. I wouldn't call it a noise is an unwanted intrusion. That's not a noise. That's a sound. Are you calling my wife an unwanted intrusion? She's not. Although the sound of the text message coming through was probably unwanted. But I wouldn't be able to see this phone in my peripheral vision if I just had to set the flash or vibrate. So I have a sound on, so get over it. This is normal life. It's normal to receive communications from your spouse during the day. You don't just tell them to stop just because you're talking about road cones to some strangers on the internet. Oh no, absolutely not. Not a fucking chance. I'm not going to grind my family life to a halt just so you can have an uninterrupted 4 minutes and 8 seconds of me explaining why it's not okay to tell people that they shouldn't have a shovel if you don't know what they're doing with it. Oh no. No. Normal life carries all around us, even while I'm addressing you and enriching your life. So get the fuck over it. Anyway, where was I? Something about wool, wasn't it? Oh, there's the wool up there again. There's a multicoloured wool up there at the back too. It's 2 shades of grey, light grey and dark grey. Isn't that some sort of a porn movie? Isn't there 50 Shades of Grey or something? I've read something about it somewhere. Isn't it some woman who's got 50 old men or something? I haven't read the details. I've only surmised it from what little I've seen about it. I've no interest in that sort of filth. I don't think people should be going around watching filth on TV screens, except in the privacy of their own home. I suppose that's where. Can you watch a cinema screen in the privacy of your own home? You probably can if you got a home cinema, but that's not really a cinema, is it? A cinema it's a cinetorium. It's a proper auditorium and videotorium with hundreds of seats and a big entrance and fire exits. Do these people who have home cinemas, do they have fire exits? I bet you they don't. If a fire started there, they couldn't just say, oh, we just have to look out for the fire exits now. No, they'll be well, of course they wouldn't need to, because they'll be their own homes. They'd be familiar with where the exits are. You don't have to have although we'll be able to see them with the smoke. Well, hopefully you get out before that. If you have a proper smoke detector, it'll go beep, 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 and you'll say, oh, is that part of the movie? And someone will say, no, I don't think so. And they'll say, well, maybe it's our smoke detector then. I wonder, is it detecting smoke? Should we do a precautionary evacuation of our sitting room? And the other person, well, assuming there isn't another person there. I just said a minute ago, I wasn't even listening to myself. I just said that we are talking about someone alone in the privacy of their own home watching a movie. So why would there be another person? Well, maybe it's someone. Maybe it's a psychopath who's got two people living in their brain. That's not a psychopath, whatever you call it. A person with multiple personalities, and they'll say maybe they can have a conversation with their other personality and say, do you smell smoke? And they'll say, yes, I do. You smell it too, though. We both have the same nose. We share a nose, so you should smell it too. And we share a brain, even though we have different personalities. It's the same brain, so our nasal brainial connection is shared. So we both either smell it or don't smell it.
Into your head.
Remember, we value the opinions of you, The Humble and Ignorant Listener. Email studio@intoyourhead.com.
Can you see me from where you're sitting? You probably can't. That means you need glasses. And what better way to get them than through the Into Your Head website, delivered straight from the Into Your Head website to your door, worldwide shipping, and the show makes a generous commission at no extra cost for you. Just go to intoyourhead.com, down the left, scroll along the prescription glasses, goggles for you ad, and browse for your prescription eyewear, your contact lenses, your glasses, your weird bifocals for freaks, and all the rest of it. And if you're one of the listeners who doesn't wear glasses, wear shoes instead, because we have a new shoes affiliate now on the website. Just go to intoyourhead.com, click on the shoes ad on the left, and browse a wide variety of shoes for men and women of all shapes and sizes and sorts. You can buy your shoes online through the Into Your Head website from a place in America. Free shipping, easy return policy, and all the rest of it. And if you don't want to shop through my generous advertisers, just leave a tip in the tip jar. Intoyourhead.com. Thank you for supporting the podcast, Joel Art.
Into your head.
Now, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking the usual. You're thinking this episode is substandard. It's below the usual standard that I would expect from this program. Well, I disagree. I disagree that it's below the standard that you expect from this program, because you've come to expect it to be like this all the time. Or at least that's the way you should look at it. You've come to expect it to be like this all the time, and when it's not like this, you're pleasantly surprised. You go, oh, this is better than usual. This is above standard. It's above the normal standard, above the usual ongoing standard. If the standard is there on the top of this admittedly quite low coffee cup, the standard is here usually, then the standard this week is up there. It's right up there where I'm pointing. You can't see where I'm pointing, but you can imagine it. That's the magic of radio. The magic of, well, it's not real radio. We're not on some FM signal. Well, it can be if you want. You can get FM wireless headphones and plug them into your device. So the last couple of feet of the transmission that goes through FM radio, and then you pretend this is on the radio if you want. If that's what floats your boat. Frankly, it doesn't float my boat. My boat is floated by water because I'm a normal person. Water has waves too, you know. You could probably send an FM signal through the water has waves, or maybe you can't. I don't know. Don't know much about science. Don't know much about history. Don't know much about the French I. That's a song, isn't it? Don't know much about the French I took. Don't know much about history. Don't know much about geography. Don't know much about pigstery. Is there a thing called pigstery? I think the study of pigs probably isn't. There probably isn't. But there's a pig story, or maybe there's a thing called Pig Story. Is there a children's movie called Pig Story? Because there's definitely one called Toy Story. And if a toy can have a story, then you can be damn sure that Christ as hell. Oh, there's Babe, isn't it? That's a pig story. That's a pig story. I understand many kids refuse to eat pork after watching it. They said, I'm not eating a frigging cartoon pig that's made out of paper and ink. That's not probably. You can't be eating paper and ink. Although I remember as a child they used to sell edible paper made of sugar in the sweet shop. You take it out and you'd cram it down your face and you'd say, look, I'm eating paper, and then your mother would take it from you and show it to her friend who's a doctor and ask them to look at it, and the doctor would say, no, that's fine, they can eat that, and then your mother would give it back to you, and then you'd finally get to eat it. I suppose that's reasonable. I suppose that's reasonable for your parent to check whether or not what you're eating is going to kill you. But what would have happened if there wasn't a doctor nearby? I don't know. She probably would have just said, oh, you can't eat that, it's probably poisonous. She'd probably say, oh, the sweet shop is selling you something that's non-edible. I'm going to to write to the newspapers about this. I'm going to write to the newspaper, and then I'll buy a copy of the newspaper, and I'll make damn sure you don't eat that, because you probably will. If you're willing to eat paper from a shop, then you're definitely going to want to eat newspaper from a shop. Of course, that was back in the early 1980s. There's no newspapers anymore because we're all grown up now. We have the internet. Nobody buys newspapers anymore. Well, except the 1 million people in this country who buy the fucking things for some reason. They go down to the shop and say, give me 50 pages of paper that I'm going to throw out tomorrow because I need to read my news in hard copy. If it's not on hard copy, then it hasn't happened as far as I'm concerned. I'm not having my news delivered as ones and zeros, because that can be. I've read George Orwell's 1984. I don't want my newspapers in ones or zeros. That's what the previous generation say. They say, I don't want my news delivered to me in ones and zeros because I don't trust ones and zeros. Anyway, oh yes, don't know much about the French I took. Don't know much about history. Don't know much about geography. Don't know much about mathematics. Don't know much about chemistry. Don't know much about Irish language. Don't know much about physical education. Don't know much about... what else do I not know much about? I don't know. I don't know to be Oh, that's the thing. I don't know much about what I know about. Although I seem to be able to compile a whole song about it. Although, to be fair, that's based on a song that was written many decades ago, so it's not my own work. Anyway, good morning.